There is said to be generally three kinds of AI we're dealing with today.
Yeah, so there's I would say there's three big spaces in AI. One is called generative AI, the second is predictive, and the third one is conversational.
Okay, and what do each of them do that separates them from the other?
Yeah, so generative AI is like when you have an input that you use, like usually text, that generates an output based on what you're asking. Predictive is when you actually look at past data and you try to predict patterns coming in the future. And conversational is more about like using just natural language to communicate with a non-human element that gives you also a natural answer back.
Klaus, the CEO of eloomi, always says is that often HR professionals spend 80% of their time on admin. And as a CEO, he'd love that time of his HR team to be dropped down on admin so they can focus on big issues, big tasks, big topics that actually make meaningful change to the business, bring value to the business. Those things which really add values to the human beings in the teams. So when you think about this, AI is really going to come in and help HR professionals bring down that amount of time in admin tasks?
What AI is doing is basically leveraging the data you already have and just helping you find the answers you're looking for faster. And also try to find something that you probably, that you could miss in a normal process of analyzing that data, right? Using like predictive AI, you could look at all your past employee data and figure out how or who's going to drop next in terms of like employee turnover, and figure out how to increase the retention on your employee level.
And I think that's the point, isn't it? HR is not lacking data.
No.
They're lacking the ability to go through the data, to see those trend lines, to see what's happened in the past and what is trending now, to be able to step in and make those right decisions.
Yeah. There's plenty of data in the world that says how a person with these skills that wants to get to those skills, like what is the learning path for a person like this, right? But how do you leverage all of this data in the past to bring you this example of saying, I have this employee right now with certain skills, he wants to get to those. What is the best and the optimal learning path for this person? With the predictive AI, we can basically look at the past data and give you a few options on how you can increase the skills on this.
Because we also then would be able to see the data that shows how long before somebody resigns, had they stopped taking learning, had they stopped engaging in surveys, had they stopped participating in the knowledge learning in the organization, then you would sort of get a warning, hey, something's not going right with this person. And then it's not so much guesswork anymore. You can have that information brought to your attention to be able, as you said, to make the right decisions at the right time to sort of rescue a situation and solve a problem.
It's important to mention that this won't solve your problem. This will pretty much just say, hey, there's something happening here. You should look into it.
Yeah. We go back to generative AI.
Yeah.
So how do you see that working in the context for a HR and L&D professional in the near future?
One of the quickest things that for example, would be super helpful for admins is that the ability to quickly generate content around certain topics. You could basically create a specific course or a specific webinar and quickly populate it with generative AI in terms of the content. And we're not there yet, but soon we will be able to generate videos as well, and even we can already do that with images.
And I think when this comes in, like people who are doing like in specialist topics, like in compliance or other health and safety, there has to be that person who can still step in and provide some sort of perspective to this and not just trust that the content is there, but it will have done all that heavy lifting to collate it, to put it into a system. Is that how you'd say?
Yeah, I mean, the example you mentioned with, like creating like an onboarding journey for an employee, right? Using generative AI, you could come up with a basic foundation on how this journey could look like. But I mean, you still need someone to go through it and say, okay, maybe this step doesn't make sense. Maybe we need to change this with something else. So it's speeding up the work, not replacing it.
Yeah. The other part of this is, of course, is the conversational AI. And it's interesting that this is about helping make things work so much faster, getting more real-time responses to challenges and problems, especially in workplaces. So this is an amazing tool to help employees get the information they need in the time that they need it.
Even us internally, right, we have a lot of help articles, right? And most of the times it's hard even to find the help article to read it at the right time and everything, right? So if I can ask in a natural way a question and get that information fed up to me, if you can do this without the need of someone on the other side to be human to give you that information, this already helps a lot of the sort of the support side of the business as well, right?
At the moment, Elder, where are you seeing these three kinds of AI appearing in the eloomi solution?
I would say that probably we would start playing with generative AI on the content creation side to start seeing how this works in terms of creating content, helping the admins build courses. It's probably a bit far in the future in terms of like the predictive AI, because of course we have a lot of data, but we need to figure out exactly how we're going to build and how these models will work depending on the needs of our customers. But I would say that generative AI will be the first step for eloomi to jump into the AI wagon.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thanks, Elder.
Yeah, no problem. Cheers.